So this is where you fill your desk. This is where the batteries are at. So if you need to know where the batteries are at, they're right there. This panel does come loose. 2 pins in there, you can pull it, take it back off. Your oil, check your oils right here. Anytime you have any issues with your trailer, if your trailer lights or something go out, right here is where the trailer fuses are. Okay. There's a screw right there you have to back off, pull it up, but we keep spare fuses and stuff like that. But if you did have an issue with your turn signal not working or something out, and you called us and we were trying to say, hey, check the fuses, that's where the trailer fuses will be at.
Gotcha. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so that's where you would look. This is your bowl filter, so you can keep an eye on it, and if it does get full, then you can let us know, but we keep scheduled maintenance on it. Antifreeze, this is where you put your oil in. Just always make sure you put the cap back on. We had issues where the cap gets left off and the oil goes everywhere, so try to make sure you put the cap back on. You shouldn't have to put oil in it, but if you do, make sure you put the cap back on. Power steering, check it. This is where you put your washer fluid in if you need it. And then on this side right here, you can check your belts real good. You can see your belts and your fan and always make sure everything's good there. Your alternator, all your mounts. Make sure we ain't got no oil coming down. Air dryer. This is your air dryer right here, and we do regular maintenance on the air dryer filter also. That unit out here, this is the motor. If you need to check the oil or anything, you just pop this down. This is a newer style, this is the Evolution. The other style has like a chrome diamond plated lid on it. If the lid opens up, this one just falls down. Same principle, you look down, you got a dipstick right here. Okay. So you can check the oil on it. That way you can keep an eye on the oil.
How much oil goes in there?
Like 4.5 quarts at top. So if it's low, you're not going to put a little bit at a time so you don't overfill it. Good practice on your walk around on these things, kicking those right there and make sure the brackets, have some issues with the brackets come loose and those things will fall down. And so we try to keep up with them every time they're in here, but if y'all find them loose, we get them tied up and get them fixed. These fifth wheels are a joist fifth wheel. 2 things what you need to remember is when you're hooking and unhooking from trailers, there's a cushion plate right here. So you don't want to back under a trailer that's too high, because the kingpin will hit right here and it'll break that cushion plate. When it breaks that cushion plate, you get slack in your fifth wheel. Yeah, so you're gonna start complaining to me that my fifth wheel's got slack in it. Like when you take off and stop, it's going to be doing it, and it's going to be because that cushion plate's broke. Sometimes, if you hit it hard enough, it can be in the jaw in it. So we have to do like a full-on rebuild. And, so just be mindful when you're backing under that the fifth wheel's all the way to the bottom of the trailer. Don't get lazy and not get out. Look, make sure if it don't feel like you're picking the trailer up, let's make sure the trailer's set on it. And then when you do get latched to the trailer and it comes time to unhook, if you notice this handle on this style fifth wheel has a notch in it. You see this notch? Yeah. When this thing latches, it falls down in a groove right here, and it falls down, and you can't pull it out because this groove catches that fifth wheel. You have to actually pick this up and push it forward, and then pull it out. Wow. Because it falls in this little notch right here. Oh, okay. So you pick it up, push it forward, and then pull it all the way out. So otherwise you'll go to unhook and you're gonna be sitting there and you're gonna be just pulling out, hitting this right here, because that's the locking mechanism. Okay. So just make sure you pick up, pull out, pick up, pull out. The evaporator and all that's in here, so that's where the cold air comes out of. Right. So that's your ductwork for your cold air. So if you activate the fan on there, you're getting cold air here. But if you want heat, you turn the fan off, because right here's your heater.
Oh, okay.
And if you listen, you can hear the fan kicking in. You hear it running?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's starting to activate. It's a slow process. It takes about 4 minutes or so for it to get actually going and start blowing out good and hot. But the fan will kick in, and then you'll start hearing a clicking noise. When you hear the clicking noise, that's the fuel pump starting to pump. So then once you start hearing that clicking noise, you'll start hearing a click, 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 click. You can hear it now.
Yeah.
And as it does, this will start spooling up, and it'll start, once it fires the chamber, once it starts burning, it'll start throwing out heat, and it'll just start blowing, and the fan will control itself. So as it gets the temperature in here, the fan will slow down, the fuel pump will slow down, it just won't burn as hot.
But it'll just keep a consistent heat in here.
It'll keep a consistent heat. So the only time the tri-pack will fire up and run is if the battery voltage would drop low enough or whatever.
But it'll fire it by itself.
It'll do it all by itself.
Okay.
And then this right here is your brain box where all the wiring and everything comes in.
Yes, sir.
On some units, not all units, but most of the older units, see it just kicked in. So we've got all the lights on and everything in here.
Oh,
so
because the battery...
it got the voltage dropped below 12.4 because we got all this running in here. So it kicked on and charged the batteries. But this box right here is your brain box on the older units anyway. This unit particularly, it's an Evolution. So if it throws a fault, you just have to turn everything off and back on. And we can actually hook a computer to it to see what the fault code is. On the older units, you don't have that luxury, but there's actually a reset button here on the corner that you would push to reset if you get a fault code, and then you can turn everything off and back on.
Has that heat started coming out yet?
Yeah, it's starting to get warm now. So, and it'll blow. The reason why I tell you to turn it all the way on high, because, you know, if it's 60 degrees in here and you put it on halfway, it won't fire and run really hard. But if you put it on max, it's going to say, hey, let's heat. So then once the heat gets running good and you start warming up, then you can start adjusting that thermostat down, and it'll start slowing.
Once I start getting comfortable, and adjust it
right,
down to
you can adjust it to your comfort
level.
level.
Then it'll go on
Yeah, and then it'll maintain that comfort
yes,
level for you.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you.
Does that make sense? I'll let you feel that right there, but like I said, this is what's under the box, so try not to block anything here, because it's got to suck that air in. From there, you do have this spot here over there, but anything right here in this area, just try not to put anything here.
I'll leave it alone.
This also you don't want to block, because that's where the motor sucks in the air for that. But so this unit here is the Evolution, so you have a turn dial. This is your on and off right here. So to turn it on, you have to push this in and hold it. Let me go ahead and turn it off. We got the heat running right now. So to turn it on, you push and hold this, and it comes on. You don't have anything lit up, so what you have to do is you turn the dial, and as you turn the dial, it lights up what you want. The first one here is your AC, that's fan, and that's heat. So you select which one you want, and then you can select your thermostat from hot to cold, in the middle, whatever your comfort level is. And then you have the blower motor here, fan speed. The only time you adjust the fan speed over here on the right is when you have the AC on. When you have it on heat, I'm gonna turn it off, so I'll start. When you have it on heat, do not activate the fan on here, or you'll have cold air and hot air at the same time. All right, so this is an older unit. So if you have this control thermostat, the difference is instead of having the knobs, you've got a main power, which is on off, and APU power. Main power just turns this on, and you can control your heat without having to turn the APU on. Recommend running the APU so you don't run the batteries down. But basically, the main power just powers the control unit. Turn on the AP, so you have to have main power, APU on. Then you can select mode, AC, heat, fan, and then fan mode over here, and then control your up and down for your temperature settings. So you can go all the way to 90 or as low as 50 degrees.
So in order to get heat in there, crank it up to 90.
Put it to 90, put it on heat, and then let it get burning. Then once you start getting comfortable, start turning it down.
Okay.
Same thing with AC. Put it on 50, let that thing crank up, start cooling. And then you can start adjusting your thermostat.
And this is just nothing more than a thermostat.
This is not a reset. This is nothing more than a thermostat to tell the tri-pack what the temperature in the cab is. So if you start pushing on that and break it, then it won't know what the temperature is.
Got it. Thank you, James.